Hi students, welcome back to class. Let's continue the Duchess of Malfi. So now I'm going to teach the final part of the Duchess of Malfi. So you will know what happens by the end of the play. So we are going to the ending of the play. So let's move to Act 5, Scene 3, the Duchess of Malfi. So here the scene is a fortification built upon the ruins of an ancient monastery. Fortification in the sense a fort that was built upon the ancient ruins of the ruins of an ancient monastery. So Antonio wants to meet the cardinal, and he thinks that if he talks to the cardinal, he'll be able to bring a kind of reconciliation. He thinks that the cardinal's heart will change. So both Delio and Antonio, they go to meet the cardinal at his apartment. So here, from this place, they can see the chamber of the cardinal. So it's again at night only they can see the light in the chamber of the cardinal. So they think that they'll be able to meet the cardinal, especially when he is at prayer. So when he is at prayer, he'll be a bit merciful. That is what Antonio thinks. So as he goes, uh, as both of them go, they can see a wall by the other side of the monastery. So there is again echo. So as they pass this place, whatever they speak will be echoed. So here we can see the echo. So they speak about actually the ancient ruins, and even Antonio also likes to see the remnants of history. So that is what he says. So there is actually the remnants of the destructive weather. So it speaks about the things buried in history. And then they just say that Antonio just says that everything has its end. It's like human lives that have end. Churches, cities, and all things also have end. So here just he ends the statement with these words. But all things have their end. Churches and cities which have diseases like men must have like death we have. Death that we have. So what he just wants to say is that this particular place reminds of the death of the glory of the ancient past. So in the same way, even cities, churches, everything also have their end. Human lives also have end. So in the same way, these things also have end. So like death we have. That is the final part of the dialogue. So when he says that, Echo just catches that, like death that we have. That is what Echo just says. And the next thing is again, Neely immediately says that Echo has caught him. Then he just thinks that the echo seems to be something like groaning, and it seems to be giving a deadly accent. It seems to remind of the death that is waiting. So again, the echo is deadly accent. That is, it echoes the words deadly accent. Then Leo just says that one can actually make anything with this echo. Whatever we say, that will be echoed. So when a huntsman's words, falconer's words, musician's words, or a thing of sorrow, whatever be it will be echoed. So the last segment of his dialogue is again a thing of sorrow. So the next echo is again a thing of sorrow. That suits its best. So again, that suits its best. It's just if we analyze these words that are echoed, that will show that it's again speaking about the impending danger to Antonio. What's going to happen? And here, even Antonio just thinks that this echo seems to be like his wife's voice. So again, it is mentioned wife's voice. So he gets reminded of his wife, the Duchess, and here he just thinks about the safety. And here the echo is again, be mindful of thy safety, O fly of fate, thou art a dead thing. Then never see her more. So these are the words echoed. So from all these words, if we actually put together all these words, we can understand that the echo seems to speak about the danger that is going to happen. The echo seems to speak about the disaster that is going to happen to Antonio. So it seems to be foretelling the events which are going to happen in the play. And the last words, that is never see him more. That is, Antonio just thinks that his child is asleep, his little ones are also asleep, and he just thinks whether he'll be able to see his Duchess again. Shall I never see her more? That is what he says. So here, never see her more. So those words are very painful to Antonio. Till now, Antonio has not been paying attention much to the words echoed. So never see her more. That actually hurts him very much. So he just thinks that it's again very painful only. So he just says that these words have actually given a lot of pain to his heart. Anyway, they actually pass this area and they have to go and meet the cardinal. So Delio just decides to bring the child of the Duchess, thinking that it will change the heart of the cardinal, because when he sees uh, the child of his own blood, there will be a change. That is what Delio thinks. Usually human beings will change, but again cardinal is again a very cruel man, a hard-hearted criminal kind of a personality. So we cannot expect this cardinal to change in any way. So with that, we finish Act 5, Scene 3. So one thing I have to tell you about this Scene 3 is that it's again echo. This is echo scene. This echo scene seems to be foretelling the danger that is awaiting Antonio. Antonio is a bit hesitant to go to the cardinal. He cannot actually lead the dog life forever, because he wants either to be reconciled or to be killed. Whatever that is going to happen, that will be better. And till now, he does not know that his Duchess and his children are killed. He does not know at all. So he thinks that his Duchess and his children are alive only, and he even doubts whether he'll be able to see them at any point of time, because this is the life that is happening to them. They don't know. He does not know what is going to happen in future. So anyway, he just takes a bold step to meet the cardinal. Now he's actually approaching the apartment very close to the chamber of the cardinal. So with that, Act 5 Scene 3 is over. Now we are moving to Act 5 Scene 4. So in that one we can find other characters: Cardinal Pescara, Malatesti, Rodrigo and Grisolin. So this is an apartment in the residence of the Cardinal and Ferdinand. So here the Cardinal, he wants to dispose the dead body of Julia. He has already told Vasolo to come that night and to dispose the dead body of Julia. So he is waiting for that. So he wants to ensure that there will be privacy enough for Vasolo to carry the dead body to the lodging of Julia. And once the work is over, he has decided to kill Vasolo, because Vasolo is the person who knows all hidden secrets, and he will be pestering him again. So he does not want Vasolo to live at all. He wants Vasolo to be killed. So he just tells Pescara, Malatesti, Roderigi and Grisolin not to come out of the chamber that night, because not to go to the room of Ferdinand also. Ferdinand is recovering very well, and nobody has to keep a watch on Ferdinand. That is what he tells. So they believe his words, and they say yes to what the cardinal says. The intention of the cardinal is to ensure privacy for Vasolo to take the dead body of Julia to her lodging. So one more thing is that he tells that they should not come out of the room at any cost. There may be some voices outside. He may hear, even if they hear voices outside also, they should not come out. Even Cardinal also may pretend that he is actually in danger. So even when he just speaks about the danger, or some mad tricks also he may show, even at that time also they should not come out. That means even when Ferdinand actually tries to show the fit of madness, even when he is in the fit of madness also, Cardinal thinks that these people should not come out of the chamber. So he just wants to say that nobody will notice what he is doing. So that is the point here. So Malatesti says that they will not come out at any cost, even if his throat is cutting also, they won't come out. That means even when he is in danger also, they won't come out, because that is what the cardinal has spoken to these people. So they won't come out at any cost. That is what they say, and it's assured that these people will remain in their chamber, and he can carry out his duty without being disturbed in any way. That is, he can see that the dead body of Julia is safely taken back to her lodging, and he can spread the news that Julia has died of plague, so that there won't be any further investigation. So the cardinal has a very cruel mind, a wicked brain. He knows to think like a criminal, and he knows how to hide his black deeds. So that kind of a personality is cardinal. We will not be able to see a personality who matches him in cruelty in the play. Then we can see Cardinal speaking about this, and no, Cardinal just speaks about the plan to himself, and when he speaks these things to himself, he just tells that once Bosola has done everything, he dies. I'll just read out those lines for him. Oh, my conscience, I will pray now, but the devil takes away my heart. For having any confidence in prayer, about this hour I appointed Bosola to fetch the body. When he had served my turn, he dies. So he just says that at this point, I appointed Bosola and fetch the body. When he had served my turn, he dies. So Basola just comes to the place and he overhears these last words. It is mentioned that he has appointed Basola to take the body. He has to get he has wants Basola to do some task for him. So once that is done, he sees that Basola dies. So immediately Basola overhears that. He understands that Cardinal has already planned the death of Basola. He has already planned to murder him. What way it is not known, but it's for sure that he is going to be murdered. And it is at this time, Ferdinand, in his fit of madness, he just speaks about strangling. And strangling is a very quiet death. So here, that is also overheard. So Bosola thinks that he should be on his guard only. Then that is actually Ferdinand in his fit of madness thinks about the strangling of the Duchess. So he is speaking about that only. But Bosola just tries to connect the words of a cardinal to the words of Ferdinand, and he is completely sure of the fact that he is going to be killed by the cardinal. So he thinks that these two are actually conversing with each other, and Ferdinand is also supporting the cardinal's decision to kill him. Then so it must be done. The cardinal would not for £1,000. The doctor should see it. So here his words are overheard. Even when the strangling that should be done in the darkness of the night only. So the cardinal does not like the doctor to see that kind of a thing. So it's very clear that his death is plotted. Ferdinand's words we cannot take into consideration completely because he is in a fit of madness. Then, so he himself says that my death is plotted. Here is the consequence of murder. We value no desert, no Christian breath. When we know black deeds must be cured with death. So he knows that this is the value, this is the reward for what he has done, because he has already murdered other people. So when he has murdered other people, the natural outcome of that is again his murder only. Okay, so that is what he knows, understands, and he is now taking into account these thoughts. And we can see Antonio coming there, but it is dark. You have to remember that it is dark, so nobody will be able to see Antonio very clearly. And Antonio comes there with a servant. And this servant likes Antonio, and he allows this Antonio to come to that place, and he says that he can talk to the cardinal. So Antonio thinks that he will be able to talk to the cardinal, and that will change his life. He just thinks that cardinal will change his heart. So he thinks that when cardinal is in his prayer, if he meets, that will be good. So here he just says these words: "Could I take him at his prayers? There were hope of pardon." So if he is able to see him at the time of prayer, there will be there is a hope of cardinal forgiving him. That is what he thinks. And at this time, Arbosolo, the treacherous villain, the villain, now the Avenger enters the scene, and he hears that this Antonio is trying to be in prayer, and he thinks that there will be hope of pardon. So, fall right, my sword, I will not give thee so much leisure as to pray. So Basola just says that he will not give leisure to the cardinal to pray, and he just stabs him. He does not even see the face of Antonio. Without even having a glimpse of the face of Antonio, he stabs him. And Antonio immediately cries, "Oh, I am gone. Thou hast ended a long suit in a minute." So this person has finished the long case in a minute only. And Basola just asks, "What art thou? Who are you?" So Antonio just says that he is a wretched thing only. So this wretched creature has benefit only in his death. And it's at this time the servant re-enters. He re-enters with a lamp. So when the lamp is brought, and when he just looks at the face of the one who is killed, he understands that it is Antonio. Okay, so Antonio is actually dying. He's not completely dead now. He's dying only. So he says that very near my home, Bosolo. So Bosolo now feels a lot of regret. So Bosolo says that more than the pity thou art dead else. So he just actually suppress your sympathy. Even otherwise also you will be dead, because he knows very well that Antonio will be killed in one way or other. So he says that the man I would have saved above mine own life. So this is the man that Bosolo has been trying to save about his own life, and this is what has happened. And here he gives a very beautiful image. We are merely the stars, tennis balls struck and banded, which way please them. We are like the tennis balls which are played, okay, to one side and the other side, whichever way the fate wants to play with this tennis balls, it will be played. So they are just like the stars which are played by the fate. That is what he says. So, and he just says one more thing. He wants to whisper a secret into the ears of Antonio. It's not a secret. He wants to whisper a news into the ears of Antonio, and what he wants to say is that Antonio's children and his beloved wife, the Duchess, are dead. So the moment he hears, he thinks that he does not want to live at all. He does not. So he just wants the death to happen immediately. Okay. So even the mention of those words actually just kindle life in them, life in Antonio. But when it is mentioned that they are murdered, so that kindle of spirit, okay, the spirit that is kindled, that is again gone. So here he just says that some men have wished to die at the hearing of sad tidings. I am glad that I shall do it in sadness. I would not now wish my wounds balmed nor healed, for I have no use to put my life to. So he does not want his wounds to be healed, or he does not want his life to go on also, and he just wants his life to be completed. Okay, may this be over. And he just tells Bosolo only one thing: to give his body to Delio. Okay, let this dead body be given to Delio, and let him make the necessary preparations for funeral. Okay, that is the only thing he says, and he does not want to live at all. So this breaks Bosolo's heart. So he says that his heart is about to break only, and to Bosolo, Antonio tells one more thing, just to tell his son to run away from this court of princes. And at that time, servant comes. To servant, Bosolo just asks. It seems that the servant has loved Antonio. The servant says that he also has that love for Antonio, and he has brought him hither, that is, to this place, to reconcile with the cardinal. And he tells the servant to take up the dead body of Antonio, and to take the dead body to the lodge of Julia. Okay, and he now understands that he cannot waste his time because his death is already plotted. He may die, so even before he dies, he has to take action immediately. That is, he has to see that Cardinal and Ferdinand are killed. So that will only be a kind of vengeance for what they have done to the Duchess. So telling this, he leaves the stage. He tells his servant to keep quiet, to be as silent as the dead body he is carrying, not to speak about anything, and that is what he says. So now we are moving to the last. Okay, so these are the things I have already told you. So last one, he tells Antonio. So I have explained all these things for the sake of you to note down. I'm just keeping this. So Ferdinand is fit of madness, speaks about strangling, which Bosolo overhears. So Bosolo understands that his death is plotted. Antonio comes with the servant. The servant tells Antonio to wait till he brings a lantern. Bosolo mistakes Antonio for the cardinal and stabs him. When the servant comes back with the lantern, Bosolo realizes his mistake. He tells Antonio that the Duchess and the children are killed. Antonio dies. Bosolo regrets for killing Antonio by mistake, because he has tried all his time to, at least the last part of his time, to save our Antonio. Okay, but that does not happen. So he tells the servant to take the dead body of Antonio to Julia's chamber. So now he knows that it is time for him to speed up his actions. So the only thing he has to do is again to kill the cardinal without delay. Okay, so for that he is now moving to the chamber of cardinal, and now we are moving to act 5 scene 5. This is the last scene in the play, and the scene is again another apartment in the residence of the cardinal and Ferdinand, and cardinal is reading a book, and when he reads a book, at times actually he thinks about his conscience. He knows that he is very well going to the hell, so he just thinks about the different kinds of fire in the hell. So what is going to happen and how people are burned in different kinds of hell, fire in hell. So he speaks about all these things. So it's very clear that his death is imminent and he will be taken to hell. So Basolo comes with a servant bearing the body of Antonio. He comes and here when Cardinal sees Basolo, he understands that Basolo is firm in his decision. It seems that he has a great determination, and when he just looks at the face, he feels a kind of fear only. So Basolo says that he is now taking action. So he is now ready to kill. Okay, he's just getting the knife ready to kill Cardinal. So when he sees that knife that is ready ready, he starts crying. Okay, he starts. That means he is calling for help. Help, God. So Basola says that you are deceived only. That is, Cardinal is deceived. Nobody will come out. Okay, so because nobody will hear what this person is telling, and even if they hear also, Cardinal has already told all of them not to come out of the chamber in any way, because he has decided that Julia's body should be safely taken to the lodging of Julia. So he has already told them not to come out. So his crying for help is also of no use. So Bosola gets ready to kill the cardinal, and the cardinal now cries for help. So nobody comes out immediately. At this time, actually these people, Malatesti, Rodrigo, Brizola, they all hear, even Pescara also hear the sound of cardinal. So they think that the cardinal is just making a joke of cracking a joke only. If they go there, cardinal himself will laugh at them, and they don't want to risk that. And so they think that they will confine themselves to the room. They won't come out. That is what they think. So again, they can hear the sound. The cry seems to be, the cry for help of the cardinal seems to be rising, and it does not look like even a joke. Pescara just thinks that the tone of the cry seems to be very serious. It seems that something bad is happening to the cardinal, some danger is happening to the cardinal. That is what he thinks. So, and he is thinking of going. So Pescara just starts moving, the others follow. Okay, so that is what we see. And now we can see Ferdinand. Ferdinand is again in a mad state only, and he sees the scuffle between Bosola and the cardinal, because Bosola has already what do you say, wounded cardinal. Okay, wounded the cardinal. Yeah, Bosola stabs the cardinal. The first wound is by Bosola only. Okay, the cardinal receives the first wound from Bosola, and the next one from Ferdinand. Ferdinand is again in a fit of madness only. He is actually in the mad state only, and he, in his thinking that he is in a battlefield. Okay, so he just comes and stabs the cardinal. So cardinal is again very surprised to see his own brother stabbing him, but you have to remember that he is out of his mind. Okay, he's not sane, he is insane only, and here he just stabs him, and he just calls him the devil, my brother fight upon the adverse party. That is what he says. Cardinal just says that, help me, I am your brother. So here he just thinks that this is again the devil only, and here he's thinking that his brother is fighting in the other party only. Okay, so he thinks that he's again in the battlefield only, and what he does is that he wounds the cardinal, and when he just wounds the cardinal, he sees Bosola also. So in that scuffle, he wounds Bosola. Okay, so it's clear that even Bosola is also going to be killed. Now we can hear the cardinal crying for justice. Oh justice, I suffer now for what hath former been. Sorrow is held the eldest child of sin. So here he understands that he is going to get the penalty for whatever he has done. Suffering is the chiefest consequence of sin. So that suffering he now receives, but he is going to end his life very soon. That is what is going to happen. So Ferdinand again just in this fit of madness he says the other two are again brave soldiers only. So and he just brings the great heroes, okay, Caesar and Pompey. So he says that Caesar's fortune was harder than Pompey's. Caesar died in the arms of prosperity, Pompey at the feet of disgrace. So this Ferdinand is completely out of his mind only. He is insane. So he thinks that he is fighting in the battlefield and these two persons are Caesar and Pompey. So with the thought that these two persons are Caesar and Pompey, he fights against them. Okay, he wounds them very badly. And Borsolo knows that he is wounded by Ferdinand. So he wants to complete that circle of revenge. So he just stabs Ferdinand. So Ferdinand also gets a fatal wound. Okay, and so here Borsolo thinks that his last part of life has done a very good service only. Borsolo is just telling that he is broken-winded. Okay, and he is now coming to his senses, that means to sanity to some extent. So Borsolo understands that he is coming to his normal senses because when he receives the wound, and he says, "My sister, oh my sister, there is the course on it, whether we fall by ambition, blood or lust, like diamonds, we are cut with our own dust." Okay, so that seems to be the moral of this drama also. So here he says that there is a cause on downfall. There is a cause of the downfall of each person. That may be by ambition. That may be for revenge. That may be for lust. So like diamonds, they all are cut with our own dust. Okay, they are all cut by only by their own actions only. So that is what he says. Cut with our own dust means with our own fellow beings they are cut. So the end of each person's life, if he violates the law, if he goes against the conscience, is again being killed by his own actions. So Cardinal just looks at Borsolo and he says that Borsolo has also got his payment. So Borsolo says that he also has got his payment. Okay, got his payment. That means he also has received the punishment. So I do glory that thou which stood like a huge pyramid began upon a large and ample base shall end in a little point, a kind of nothing. So he is happy that at least this person, Cardinal, has also received a fatal wound and he is also going to be killed. So in the scuffle, Borsolo is going to be killed. Ferdinand is also about to die. So that is what happens. Now at this time, we can see Pescara, Malatesti, Rodrigo and Bisolon coming. So we can see Pescara, Malatesti, Rodrigo and Bisolon coming late only. So when they come and see, they see actually a bloody scene only. The dead body of Antonio, they see the dead body of Cardinal. The Cardinal is again about to die. He's not dead. Even Borsolo is also about to die. So that is what we see now. And Borsolo very boldly he says what has happened. He says it is revenge for the Duchess of Malfi murdered by the Aragonese brother, for Antonio slain by this hand, for lustful Julia poisoned by this man, and lastly for myself, that was an actor in the main of all, much against mine own good nature, yet in the end neglected. So he says that he is, this is the revenge for the Duchess of Malfi. Okay, it's again revenge for the murder of the Duchess of Malfi and her two children by these Aragonese brothers. It is the Cardinal of Aragon and Ferdinand, the Duke of Calabria. And Antonio is killed by his own hand, he says. It's again by mistake only, but is killed by his own hand. And Julia is again killed by poisoned by the cardinal. Okay, the lustful Julia poisoned by the cardinal, and last is again his case only. He is an actor in the entire drama. Okay, whatever that has happened to these persons, and against his own nature, he has acted. Now he is paying the penalty for whatever he has done. He is now getting the punishment for whatever he has done. And Pescara just looks at the cardinal and asks what has happened. He says that the large wounds are given by his brother, okay, and he just says that let him die and let him be never thought of, let him be forgotten in the time, in the tides of time. Okay, so malatesti, you don't just think, how Antonio is killed. So Bozzolo says that it is again by a mistake only he is killed. So here he says that he is gone. Okay, all of them are gone. So this is a gloomy world only. Then people are again, suffering because of their own ambition. So he just actually says that he is on another voyage only. So that is, he is going to the he is going to another world. He does not know where he is going. So he is just moving to another world and saying that he dies. At this time, Delio comes, and Delio brings Antonio's son, and Delio tells that he has heard everything and he knows what has happened, and he just thinks that Antonio's son can be made the next heir to the throne. On behalf of the Duchess of Malfi, he will be the next ruler to uh, Malfi. So that is what is mentioned, and with that the play ends. So here in this act, we can see the culmination of all the tragic events, and we can see the bloodshed in the play. So this is again what happens to uh, revenge tragedy. What happens in revenge tragedies? The same scene can be seen here also. And I have to just speak about the moral vision of Webster, because here we can see all these people being killed by one another. Okay, that is, they are getting the punishment for whatever they are done. So Webster seems to project this kind of a moral vision, because he actually shows a corrupt world, and in a corrupt world, all those who violate the laws, all those who go against the conscience are definitely going to get the punishment. That is what we see here. Nobody will escape being punished. Okay, so that is the thing is shown here. And we can see the echo scene. That echo scene I've already told you that foretells the disaster that is going to happen to Antonio. So it is again setting the stage ready for the disaster that is going to happen. We have already seen a lot of disaster, when some more tragic events are going to happen. So that is again foretelling the tragic events which are going to happen in the play. And Bozzolo, who murders the Duchess and her children, becomes the avenger. That seems to be an irony of fate only. We can never think that the one who kills the Duchess and her children becomes the person to avenge the murder. So it seems to be very ironical. And Bozzolo, who wants to save Antonio, kills him by mistake. That is also irony of fate. And another irony of fate is again Cardinal, who tells Rodrigo, Brisolan, Pescara, and Malatesti not to come out of the house, gets trapped by his own words, because even when he cries for help, these people do not come out of the room, thinking that he is just playing pranks on them. So he is trapped by his own words. That is what we can see in the play. With that, actually, we have completed the Duchess of Malfi, and I hope you have understood the play thoroughly. And I request all of you to listen to the lecture, and just, if you are not able to understand, just listen to the lecture repeatedly, then you will be able to understand. You can just pause and you can keep on listening, and you will be able to understand. This play is not a difficult play, it's easy only. Even the language is also simple. I won't say the simplest, but again more simple than what you have studied earlier. So with that, I'm just coming to the end, and we can see the detailed analysis of the play in the next class. So all of you, please take care of your health. Please take care of your health. That is what I have to tell you again and again. If you get any symptom of COVID, don't be afraid to go for testing. Just go for testing and start medication immediately. This is a very difficult time okay, an unprecedented time only. So all of you have to take care of your health and to take care of the health of your family members also. So to stay safe at home. Take care. Bye.